This season of Beyond the Brand is brought to you by Leader. For more information, visit leader.co.
In a world of constant noise and shifting markets, the greatest competitive advantage is clarity. Our next guest is a master at finding the signal in the noise. Brian M. Price is an author, speaker, and coach who has spent his career helping organizations build sustainable, high-growth futures. Now he's taking that same approach into the home to help leaders align their professional lives with their personal lives. Please welcome Brian M. Price. And Brian, you've worked across various industries, but the common thread is always strategic clarity. Why do so many leaders struggle to see the simple path forward when their business starts to scale?
Ooh, that's a real, boy, you hit me with the big question right out of the gate. Well, I mean, honestly, it comes right down to them looking at their own priorities, looking at where their life is at, looking at their goals in their business aligning with their goals in their business and their personal life. Are they, not just aligned, but do they have a clear vision? I helped co-found a children's charity many, many years ago, and I was involved with that up until last year. And one of my mantras within the boardroom was always clarity, 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 and vision, vision, vision. And if those things aren't aligned, then you have issues. And the second part to that is, as I sort of already mentioned, that there's this disconnect with a lot of very successful people, not even just successful people, just people in general, where they're not aligned with their professional life and their personal life. Mm-hmm. And I really spend a lot of time working through that with clients, and in the past, that level of clarity and alignment between both those spaces in your life will create magic, absolute magic, which has led to what I'm up to today, actually.
So I see behind you, you've got success and mindset. Is that also part of the whole big picture?
Oh, without a doubt. Listen, mindset is everything. If you aren't constantly exercising your mind and changing and shifting and transforming the way you see your life in general, you're probably going to get stagnant and stale. And so if you notice, I have success, then mindset. Success equals mindset in my mind. So, I mean, I've been in a personal development journey for 13 years plus, everything from my own coach training, and God knows how many seminars, workshops, intensives, how many other trainings I've done and certifications and so on. But at the end of the day, this wasn't for anybody else but me. And because I knew that my relationship with myself needed to be handled. And it's a constant practice, honestly. Kelli, we are in a world today where if you want to be top of your game, you've got to be willing to practice the thing that makes you the person at the top of your game. So if you want to be the best drummer in the world, you need to be playing every day. If you want to be the best CEO in the world, you need to be practicing not just your business acumen, but you need to be practicing your ability to be in great relationships with those that you serve in that organization. You need to be practicing your own gosh, I don't know why I just totally lost it, but you need to be practicing your own development within your heart and within your body, your mind, your spirit. I actually call it the three-legged stool, and I just wrote a book that's going to be coming out in August that addresses that very question of what do you do to create an incredible relationship with yourself?
Okay, you've got to tease us a little bit more than that, not just the title. Explain.
Yeah. Well, look, my journey is, you can see in the background, I have the Extraordinary Husband Framework. So the book is going to be called Fight for Her, Not With Her, and it's around our personal journey. My wife and I nearly divorced, not once, but twice. And back in the early 1990s and 2000s, I was a health and safety consultant, and I was very successful. Loved my work. We were told we'd never have children. We wanted to have children, and then all of a sudden, a miracle of miracles, we were told we're having children, and not just one, but we were told we would have twins. And 7 months into that, our daughter Jenna was diagnosed with leukemia. So it completely shifted our entire view of the world. It shifted our careers. It shifted our priorities. It shifted our relationship to the point where in 2006 we were told we knew our son had an issue, and the amount of friction in our relationship was at an all-time high. And one day, my wife and I were having coffee, and she and I started getting into an argument, which erupted into something bigger. And from there, it turned into, I want a divorce. And so it was ugly. And it wasn't until several years later, 2013, when a friend of mine came to me and said, "Hey, Brian, listen, man," and I was actually working on building a new business. This is a big business meeting. And she said, "Nope, we're not talking about the business at all. We're going to talk about you for a minute." And I would share with your audience this. When you have some people in your life that love you enough to pull you aside and say, "Look, we need to talk about something else other than the thing we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about you. And by the way, if you don't make some big changes in your life and the way you show up and the way that you conduct yourself, you're going to lose everything." And that was a sobering moment for me. And that was what really shifted my entire set of priorities and created a commitment to my own personal development, which led to today, pivoting in my coaching practice. I've been working with entrepreneurs and business owners for years. But I knew a couple of years ago I really needed to make a big change. And it wasn't until November I had the massive breakthrough around that, and was in Miami at a speaking competition and an intensive, and delivered a speech around my wife and I and all of our marital problems. And not only was I a finalist, that particular speech has led to so many new things within my own practice. It's led to this book that's coming out in August. And it's really a self-leadership book for men. And it's designed specifically for high-performing men to get real clear around their relationship with themselves and how they want that to translate into an incredible marriage, to becoming an extraordinary husband, but also how that translates into your business, right? So we can't forget that. Like, we're businessmen and women are constantly in the weeds. They're devoted and dedicated to their business, but the same principles that apply at work or in their business or in the boardroom don't always apply at home. In fact, a lot of times they don't. And that's where a lot of the disconnect comes in.
What's interesting is you say that this journey has been about you. Why was it so important to you to be able to share your experience and what you've gone through to get where you are today? Why was it important for you to share that with other men?
Well, I think you could probably appreciate this. We see divorce all around us every day. Mm-hmm. I have 2 children and an incredible wife who's really a hero in this whole story. And I felt that it was unfair to my family to have it become a victim of my, how shall I say it? So, because we're on TV, a victim of my poor choices. Let's put it there.
Okay.
And the way I was showing up in the world was awful. I'm not saying that's the case for all men, but consider this. There are almost 1 million divorces in our country every year. How many of those could have been avoided if not just the men, but the women in the marriage too, or the other partner in the marriage, took incredible responsibility and ownership for their part? And that's really where the rubber meets the road. Not only that, but the statistics around divorce are such that 69% of women initiate the divorce. And this is an older Stanford study that really caught me by surprise. And it made me think, wow, why is that? And in many cases, it's because of a lack of communication. It's a lack of vulnerability. It's a lack of the man in the marriage and his willingness to do his own work, to own his part in the marriage. It's a lack of relatability. And I just felt like there's got to be a better way. And I know, and I'm sure you do too, I know so many people that have divorced, whether it's friends or family, and you see the devastation. Sometimes it's for good, right? I mean, I'm not dismissing that there are cases where that shouldn't happen. But I also consider, in our case, if we had divorced, was that because of convenience and because in the moment it would have been easier, or because of the commitment? Look where we're at today, and look at the work we've done. And in the process, my wife and I are happier now than we've ever been. And we'll be married 31 years in August, and have 22-year-old twins now. My daughter Jenna's not only a leukemia survivor, just graduated from college last week. And I mean, the success stories as a result of staying together are undeniable. And I want to share that with other men.
Well, congratulations. Again, the title of the book and how folks can get in touch with you if they want more information.
Sure. The title of the book will be Fight for Her, Not With Her, A Guide to Becoming an Extraordinary Husband. And people can get a hold of me through my socials on LinkedIn, and I will have a QR code here posted for you as well. And BrianMPrice.com is the best place to go if you want to get in touch with me via a website.
Thanks, Brian. We appreciate your time today.
Be sure to scan the QR code on your screen to sign up for BizTV's monthly newsletter, The Biz Beat, where you'll get articles, business news, and columns by BizTV's personalities, all sent directly to your inbox.